Hey YouTube, this is Kentucky Wildcat Fan 78. Now, I'd like to talk about something for Halloween. Now, you're thinking to yourself, it's almost the end of January. Halloween's not for another 10, 11 months. That's true, but I want to give my opinion on something. I get asked all the time, why do I have just pumpkins, ghosts, spiders, and then some other things mixed in. That's because it's basically my theme. Um, why I have that, I don't really know. It's just for a long time I have grown up on those particular things. Pumpkins, ghosts, witches, and ghouls. Now, how does that translate over to inflatables? Well, I try and find stuff that fits that theme. Now, I have a lot of people ask me, oh, why don't you get this or why don't you get that? And it's simple. Unlike a lot of my my inflatable friends on here, I just simply don't have the room. Now, I try not to show this, but for example, where all the inflatables go in the yard, the one that takes up the most room is the 16-foot pumpkin reaper. Now you're saying to yourself, it goes up. How does it take up that much room? Yes, it goes up, but the problem is that the cords are so long that it kind of gets in the way of the others. So I have to try and work the others around that. And it's one of those things where it's like, I just simply don't have the room anymore like I used to. Because trust me, I want to add more and make the display even better. But the thing is, I just don't have the room. Like, I can add small things into the mix, like these projectors and stuff, because they don't take up that much room. But when it comes to something like the 16-foot pumpkin reaper, or something along that line, I just don't have the room to set it in. It's one of those things where it's like, you want to add more, but you just don't have the room, simply. Like, this year with me adding the 12-foot ghost from Sam's. I barely was able to get that in place, partially because of my electrical problem that I have. Like, with having so many inflatables, especially in the yard, I'm not including the spiders on this, just because of the fact they have their own plug and own stuff. But the ones in the yard, like the 2 pumpkin reapers, the Boo, the pop-up ghost, the double pop-up ghost, the scary ghost, the 12-foot, I call it strobe light effect purple ghost. Those. For those, unless it's the one that's closest to the outlet, I have to use 2 of those long cords, you would put up a Christmas tree. Just to fit, just because those have the most outlets. And I barely have enough cords to do the cemetery, my blow molds that I have. What else? Some of the other Halloween stuff I have, like the front stuff and everything else. It's just, now you're asking yourself, okay, why don't you just buy more? I will if I have to, that's the thing. But if I don't have to, why bother? So, that's the thing, I try and save as much of the stuff as I can without buying new things. Now, it's difficult to do that every year. Now, I'll make this into another video on why it's getting harder and harder for me to do my Halloween display.